It's a beautiful day today in the neighborhood. Welcome to Monday, beginning of another week and brand new possibilities with God. Welcome. When I was growing up, I loved to read a lot of stories. I used to read through the night and go to school sleeping because I just loved stories. And there was one I remember not too long ago called The Princess and the Pea. The Princess and the Pea. And you might be thinking, here comes Bisola, what has this got to do with my spiritual life? As I have you turn to Joshua chapter 7, let me tell you the story of the princess and the pea in a nutshell, in a pea size. But there was this prince many years ago looking for a princess, and his mother knew that a princess, the right princess, had to be very sensitive. So this lady came to their palace in the middle of the night during a very rainy storm looking for shelter, and she said she was a princess. And so the queen wanted to find out if she really was a princess. So she put a pea, very tiny pea, at the bottom of the bed frame, piled it up with 20 mattresses, and then piled it up with 20 down covers. And the one I read when I was younger had a picture of this lady climbing a ladder to get on top of the bed. And the queen mother knew that if this was a real princess, she would not sleep that night. So the next day they asked her, so how did you sleep? And the lady said she was sore all night. There was something hard underneath the mattress and she couldn't sleep. So the queen said, well, you must be a real princess. And because she could feel the very tiny pea through all those layers of mattress and down and everything. What has this got to do with you and me and our spiritual life? The moral of this story is that we have to be sensitive to little changes, to little things. So you ask me, what has this got to do with me? Let me remind you in Joshua 7 about the story of Achan. Achan is spelled Achan, and it's telling the story of the children of Israel. Prior to that, they had won a battle somewhere, and God had asked them not to take anything from those people. But Achan, in his wisdom, had taken something and had hid it in his tent. And so here was Joshua going to fight a country called Ai, a small country called Ai. And Ai whooped them up, beat them up. And so Joshua came back crying before the Ark of the Covenant that, oh, woe is me, this tiny little country that we could have flicked off with a finger beat us up. And God told him, there is sin in the camp. There is a small amount of sin in the camp. And so Joshua found out where the sin was, and it was with Achan. And as a result of that, and you can go back and read in Joshua 7 what happened to Achan and his family and his tribe. It was bad because of one small sin. The Bible tells us again that leaven or yeast, and this is in Galatians 5:9. It says, reading from the Amplified Version, a small leaven or a small inclination to error or a few false teachers leavens the whole batch. That is, perverts the concept of faith and misleads the church. A small leaven, a small error. But what has this got to do with my spiritual life? The world is turning to such a level where you have to be careful not to allow leaven into your life, not to allow those small errors into your life. Be sensitive. Be sensitive to what you hear. Be sensitive to what you read. Be sensitive to the company you keep. Be sensitive to what you say, because that small leaven goes a whole long way and can be very destructive to you and I. We have to be careful, because the Bible says a small leaven can corrupt the whole thing. Be careful. It's a beautiful day today in the neighborhood.